kicked out as a teen for false rumors spread by my brother. Years later, parents see my success and demand money after they abandoned me. 29M, never thought I'd be writing this post, but recent events have left me conflicted and angry, and I could use some outside perspective of the backstory. When I was 16, my life completely fell apart in the span of a week. I grew up in a conservative religious household with my parents and my older brother Ethan, now 32. Our family was well respected in our small community, and my parents put enormous emphasis on our reputation and standing within the church. Ethan and I had a complicated relationship growing up. He was the golden child, athletic, charismatic, and deeply invested in the church. I was more introverted, interested in computers and technology, and while I participated in church activities, I wasn't as passionate about it as the rest of my family. This created constant tension, with my parents frequently comparing us and finding me lacking. The summer I turned 16, I got an internship at a local tech company through a school program. I was thrilled. It was my first real opportunity to develop my skills in programming. The internship meant I missed some church events and family gatherings, which created more friction at home. Around this time, I also became close friends with Jamie, the son of the company's founder. Jamie was openly gay, though I didn't think much of it. He was just a good friend who shared my interests. One night, I came home to find my parents waiting for me with expressions I'll never forget: disgust, anger, and disappointment. They confronted me with accusations that I was in a homosexual relationship with Jamie, that I was using drugs, and that I had been caught stealing equipment from the internship. None of this was true. Not a single word. I was completely blindsided and denied everything, but they wouldn't listen. They had evidence: text messages between Jamie and me discussing meeting up for gaming sessions, a USB drive with stolen software, actually projects I was working on for the internship, and rumors from church members who had seen us together acting inappropriately, just hanging out at a coffee shop. Eventually, I learned that Ethan was the source of these accusations. He had gone through my phone, taken screenshots out of context, and fabricated stories to tell our parents and church leaders. I later discovered his motive: he was jealous of my internship and the positive attention I was receiving from extended family for my academic achievements. He was also failing several classes and had been caught drinking, and he needed to deflect attention from his own issues. My parents didn't give me a chance to defend myself properly. They gave me an ultimatum: confess my sins, break off my friendship with Jamie, quit my internship, and recommit to the church or leave their house. I refused to admit to things I hadn't done, so at 16, I was kicked out with just a backpack of belongings. The aftermath: the first few weeks were the hardest. I couch-surfed with school friends until Jamie's family found out what happened. His parents were horrified that a child had been thrown out and offered me their guest room until I finished high school. I will forever be grateful to them. They treated me like family. When my own turned their backs on me, I threw myself into my studies and technology work. Jamie's father became a mentor to me and helped me secure a scholarship to college for computer science. During this time, I tried reaching out to my parents several times, but they refused to speak with me unless I repented. My brother spread more rumors that I had been kicked out for stealing and drug use, painting himself as the concerned brother who tried to help me. After college, I got a job at a tech startup that eventually took off. I worked my way up to a senior development position, and 3 years ago, I co-founded my own software company with 2 colleagues. Last year, we were acquired by a larger tech firm for a substantial sum. I'm now financially secure and even somewhat successful in my industry. Throughout these years, I maintained minimal contact with my family. My grandmother, my father's mother, was the only one who stayed in touch, although secretly at first. She never believed the accusations and supported me from afar. She passed away last year, leaving me a small inheritance that I used to buy my first house. The present situation: 3 months ago, I received a Facebook message from Ethan. He'd seen an article about our company's acquisition in a tech publication and realized I had made it big. The message started with a half-hearted apology for any misunderstandings in the past and quickly pivoted to catching up and reconnecting. I didn't respond. 2 weeks later, my mother called me for the first time in nearly 13 years. She acted as if no time had passed, asking about my life and expressing pride in my success. When I reminded her that she had kicked me out as a teenager and refused my attempts to reconcile, she said they were just doing what they thought was best and suggested that it had clearly worked out well for me. I ended the call, feeling sick to my stomach. Last month, my father emailed me explaining that they were facing financial difficulties. My mother required surgery that their insurance wouldn't fully cover, and they were at risk of losing their home due to missed mortgage payments. He framed it as an opportunity for me to honor thy father and mother now that God had blessed me with wealth. I was torn. Part of me felt they didn't deserve my help after abandoning me at such a vulnerable age. Another part wondered if this was a chance to heal old wounds. I decided to investigate before making any decision. Through mutual acquaintances and my grandmother's former neighbor, I discovered some disturbing facts. My mother's medical issues were real, but exaggerated in severity to gain sympathy. Their financial problems stemmed largely from poor decisions. My father had quit his stable job to start a business that failed, and they had remortgaged their house to fund it. Most shocking of all, Ethan had confessed to our extended family years ago that he had lied about me, but my parents had downplayed it, saying they had other reasons for how they treated me. Despite this, I offered to pay for my mother's medical expenses directly to the hospital, not to give them cash. This wasn't enough for them. My father called me ungrateful and selfish, saying I owed them for raising me for 16 years and that as their son, I should be taking care of them without conditions. The final blow came last week. I received a lengthy email from my parents, copying several extended family members and even church leaders. They accused me of abandoning them in their time of need, claimed I had been troubled as a teenager and they had done their best with a difficult child, and suggested that my current success was due to their firm guidance early in life. They demanded that I provide ongoing financial support as repentance for my past behavior and current hardness of heart. I haven't responded. I'm angry, hurt, and confused. These people threw me out with nothing, believed the worst about me without evidence, made no effort to contact me for over a decade, and now want to take credit for my success while demanding financial support? My questions: am I wrong for not wanting to financially support the parents who abandoned me based on false accusations? Should I set the record straight with the extended family and church members who were copied on that email, many of whom only heard my parents' and brother's version of events? Is there any way to have a relationship with my family that isn't based on money or their version of the past? TLDR. My brother spread false rumors about me as a teen, causing my parents to kick me out. I built a successful life on my own. Now they've reappeared demanding money and taking credit for my success, while also continuing to paint me as the problem child to extended family. Edit 1. Wow, I'm overwhelmed by the responses. Thank you all for your support and advice. To address some common questions about legal action: yes, what my parents did was illegal. You can't just kick out a 16-year-old. However, I never reported it because I was scared, confused, and honestly just trying to survive. By the time I was stable enough to consider legal options, I just wanted to move forward with my life. Many asked about Jamie and his family. They remain important people in my life. I was best man at Jamie's wedding 3 years ago, and his parents still invite me to family holidays. They never expected anything in return for helping me, they just did what they felt was right. Regarding my grandmother, she tried to intervene when I was kicked out, but my parents threatened to cut her off from seeing my brother and any future grandchildren if she took my side publicly. She chose to support me privately, sending small amounts of money and checking in regularly. She apologized profusely on her deathbed for not doing more. Several people asked if I have proof of Ethan's confession about lying. Yes, I do. My cousin recorded a family gathering where Ethan, drunk, admitted to making everything up because he was jealous. She sent me this recording years ago, thinking it might help reconciliation. I never used it because, at that point, I had accepted that my parents didn't want me in their lives. Edit 2. This post has gained more attention than I expected. Some updates based on actions I've taken since posting. I've decided to send one final email to my parents and all the people they copied. I won't be attacking them, but I will calmly state the facts of what happened, including the truth about why I was kicked out, my attempts to reconcile over the years, and Ethan's confession. I'll include that I'm willing to have a relationship with them that involves genuine remorse and reconciliation, but not one based on financial support or revisionist history. Many suggested therapy, and you're right. I've actually been in therapy on and off since college. It's helped tremendously with processing the abandonment issues and building healthy relationships. I'll be discussing these recent events with my therapist next week. For those suggesting I cut contact permanently, that's essentially what I've done for the past decade. I'm not rushing to re-establish a relationship, but I also don't want to carry anger forever. If they can acknowledge the truth and show genuine change, I might consider carefully rebuilding some form of relationship. But I'm not holding my breath. To the person who asked about my relationship status, I've been with my partner for 4 years. She knows my whole story and has been incredibly supportive through this recent contact with my family. Her own family has embraced me completely, which has been healing in ways I can't fully express. Regarding the church community, after I was kicked out, many church members followed my parents' lead and shunned me. A few reached out privately over the years to check on me, but most accepted the narrative that I was troubled and sinful. I've since found a different spiritual community that practices the acceptance and love that I believe faith should embody. Thank you all again for your perspectives and support. It's given me clarity and courage to address this situation in a way that protects my peace while also standing in my truth. Edit 3. Final update. Probably I sent the email yesterday, laying out everything factually without emotion. I included the recording of Ethan's confession as an attachment. The responses have been illuminating. Several extended family members and one church elder have reached out to apologize profusely. They had no idea of the full story and were shocked by my parents' behavior. A couple of cousins who were children when this happened said they were always told I had run away because I was using drugs. They're angry on my behalf and want to reconnect. My brother sent a panicked message asking me to not make things worse and suggesting we both move on from the past. He admitted what he did was wrong but said he was just a kid himself. He was 19 when he spread those rumors. My parents, predictably, are furious. They sent a scathing reply claiming I'm twisting events to make them look bad and that they only ever acted out of love and concern. They've now shifted to saying they always knew Ethan was exaggerating but that I was still exhibiting concerning behaviors that justified their actions. They ended by saying if I'm not willing to help them financially, I shouldn't contact them again. I feel strangely at peace. The truth is out there now. I've reconnected with some family members who seem genuinely remorseful, and I've closed the door on a toxic relationship with my parents that was never going to heal. I'm focusing now on the family I've chosen and built around me, my partner, Jamie and his family, and the friends who have stood by me. Thank you, Reddit, for helping me find clarity in this situation. Sometimes you need outside perspectives to see that you're not crazy for protecting yourself from people who hurt you, even if they're family.